what I just wanted to start with telling you guys is what I want to talk about is heart. So if you don't open the customer's heart, you'll never get there. And, so I wrote down a few notes about it. And so each of you have approximately, maybe not Neil, but we're kind of working at it, 300 to 800 accounts. Yes? Kind of? Mm-hmm. Around that range, somewhere in that range. And we have 260 product lines. So if you could get just 20% of those customers buying from you, 5 lines, at $5,000 a line, you're doing $1.5 million. Doesn't sound like such an insurmountable task. So when we hired most of you, I can say the similar kind of things we felt. Strong character, and which I know Dennis is going to touch on later. Smart, funny, and interesting. You guys beat out hundreds of applicants, and I don't want to overshadow what you're going to talk about later.
Do it.
But you guys, seriously, you beat out tons and tons of people for these jobs because our resume and our ad and what we believe in attracts a lot. So you guys have all the tools. There's just no question. You have the intelligence, the humor, the smarts. And I think our marketing, Marcus, is superior to none. Our giveaways, our squeaky guys, our line card, our catalogs, our mailers, superior to none. So we have superior people and superior marketing. We have inventory in 19 warehouses. You can be 30 minutes away from most of our customers with that kind of service. Nobody else can do that. We buy the same or better than every one of our competitors. Every single one of our competitors. No one buys better than us. So we're either at that level or better than that. So, how come you're not selling lots and lots and lots? And that's what I want to talk about today. I've come to the conclusion that 99.99999% of the planet are strangers. Most of the people are strangers on this planet. And if you're ever going to make an impact on the planet, sure, it's going to be with your kids, and sure, it'll be with your friends and your family. But the biggest part of your impact has got to be with the 99.9%. And that's what you're dealing with right now. These 500 customers, these 800 customers, 300 customers, most of them are strangers. So, and that's the same with me. I mean, I think I was put on this planet to call in new accounts. I was not called to do the delivery route and call in the same 30 customers. So if I think it's going to be heart that opens up my relationship with these strangers, is why I'm on the planet, is to try to make an impact with strangers, because that's what the planet is, and that's where the opportunity to make a difference is. What do I do? And again, I'm just going to kind of tell you how I, look at when I go there. I never go into an account before I say a prayer to myself. And typically, what is my thought process? Help me be a better listener, because I like to talk too much. So help me be a better listener, number one. Bar none, that's one of the things I do. And second of all, help me keep my humility. I think those are the 2 key aspects I I almost have to shift down a gear, because I have a lot of hyperness too, not Jimmy Jang hyperness. But I got to shift it down. I have to take it out of my zone into their zone. I have to change the whole thing. So, the first thing I always say is, and a lot of times, and I'll tell you guys things I do that you probably, again, and I'm not saying you have to do this, but I have to shift away from me into them. So, I usually say a prayer, and I have for 27 years. I think I learned from the beginning that if I can't not be humble and caring and whatever, then the strangers will never know me. They're just more strangers that we pass on the roads every day and we go to work every day. So I have to open, basically, if I don't open my heart first, none of it works. Doesn't matter. I can ask them hobbies, I can talk all the talk. I can talk sports, I can talk hunting, fishing, whatever. Doesn't matter. My heart's not open first, we're not going anywhere. And that's true with the waitress, that's true with someone at Dunkin' Donuts. If I don't open my heart first, it doesn't work. So I have to stop and do that, and I really do. And I take every single visit I make to a customer. I, first of all, want to say things that no one else has said to them because that's who we are. And number 2 is, I want to make that my best call. For 27 years, I felt that way. I felt that the next one will be my best. And I always say that to me. If I make 5 outside calls, I feel my first one will be better than the last 26 years. My second one will be better than the first one. My third one. I, flat out kill myself. I'm all about hard work. So I'm never going to go into a call and not flat out give everything I got. I will, and if anybody you guys have traveled with me, you'll know that I flat out try to do everything I can. So what do I do? So I've opened my heart, and what is my thing? Now, I think the biggest reason salespeople fail is because they don't say anything meaningful. So they've opened their heart, they're nice people, they're humble, they're in the right mode, but you don't say anything. They don't remember if you don't say anything, I'm telling you right away. If you want them to remember you for 10 years or 15 years, you know, I met Jimmy 15 years ago, the most decent human being I met. Neil, 20 years, David, Randall, and Linda, or Alex, or Jack, or Bob, or Ryan, or Toby, or Bob, or Chris. You better say something meaningful because there's a lot of chatter out there, like the circuit breakers yesterday. Chatter does not get you there. You can come in every day. When I talked to you about hobbies yesterday, come in and talk hobbies, they'll never remember you. You better say something first. I'm also a huge believer, and I'll give you my presentation, that I can do it quick because 90% of the time I'm with a customer, they're doing the talking. But I think I get them to talk. So what do? So I have a really quick presentation, and it's based on the Credo. And it's, you know, I really try to go through kind of our, you know, the things I'm trying to get them to understand from all of this is, the first thing is I try to deflect credit to others. Because, you know, if you can deflect credit to your coworkers, your boss, whatever, people always genuinely like people that like other people. That's just, you know, if they know, you know, if they know you love the people you go to work with every day, and they know you love who you work for, the company or your boss or your whatever, your manager, they'll naturally start to like you because, you know, deflecting credit is why we're on the planet. It's not about absorbing the credit, it's about deflecting the credit. It's giving your success to your family, your spouse, the people you work with. It's deflecting credit. So in my presentation, I always deflect credit right off the bat. You know, and I'll talk about Teresa, and I'll say Teresa or Frank. You know, Frank is like a brother to me, and you know, and I'll tell you, there's no one in New England that's more honest than Frank. I deflect credit as much, you know, as quickly as I can. And you know, the other things I'm trying to do, and again, I'll do my presentation for you guys to be happy. Humility, you know, that's again which I touched on. You know, I flipped the org chart upside down. It's my job to serve. It's my job to go to work every day and say, how do I make you happy? It's my job to go to work every day and say, how do I make you, you know, if you can ever, you know, find a way to put, and again, I think all you guys should do this differently. I don't think, it's not from your heart if you do it the same. It really is. Then it's a PowerPoint presentation, which we'll never do. I mean, we hire people with a heart, and we let you guys talk from your heart. If we give you a PowerPoint, it doesn't have the same meaning. You know. Now, I'm also a huge believer, and some of this I've told you guys before, about complimenting people. Is that your little voice says to you something, speak it out loud. You know, sometimes my kids will freak out that it's a little stockish. I don't care. That's what I thought. You know, I like that brooch. I like you have a great laugh. You have a great smile. If the little voice talks to me and says, you have a great laugh, I tell him. You have a great smile, I tell him. You know, I think, you know, I went to Catholic schools my whole life, and the nuns used to beat it in my head. You think something well, voice it out loud. You think something negative, shut up. Trap it. And you know, that's been a nice thing I did learn from them. And, you know, what do you say to your friends? Why wouldn't you, right? John Burke, what do you say to your 100 friends? You make them feel good, right? You know, I love that shirt. I love that, whatever. Who cares? If they think you're doing it for business, who cares? So what? You're not. I mean, if you're making things up, I don't walk in looking for something. But if the little voice says to me, wow, what a great whatever, I speak it out loud. So, and this is the one that you guys will have the hardest one doing, and this is the one that I think changes their heart the most. It's my conclusion with them. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for your business. And I look them in the eye and just hesitate. If you guys can ever simply do that, every single sales rep will say thank you. That's not a thank you. I mean, if you can't thank them, they're feeding your family, they're making your lives more enjoyable if you have a relationship. If you're not thankful, that the whole thing is out the door anyway. But if you can't say thank you from the bottom of my heart for your business, all the sales reps say thank you. Doesn't count, doesn't matter. Don't even waste your time. That's not thank you. Thank you is from here, and you have to, you know, voice it. But I encourage you guys that, you know, we'll learn the product. We have great marketing. You guys are great character people. It is hard work to use this. It's much easier to use your mouth. But if you can ever use this, I mean, it took me in Massachusetts when I moved out here, It took me 9 months to get to 100,000 in new business alone. When I moved to Connecticut, Connecticut, it took me 6 months to get $100,000 in new business. And every single one of it was because of this. And when I got a $500 order and I showed up and said, thank you, Ryan, from the bottom of my heart for that order. The order became 50,000. And, you know, if you can ever use this, there's no limit to where you can go. That's that.
It's awesome.
Nice.